Hey you guys, this is Blacklist of the Abyss, and this is my review for Fairy Tail Chapter 355. Now, clearly this is a fan service chapter. I mean, that's not all it was, but it was mostly fan service in the beginning. Well, in the very beginning, it was pretty. I thought it was pretty funny. Ward goes to give them their reward. It turns out just to be a potato. Uh, that was pretty funny. So this is a potato that I grew in my garden. No, I'm just kidding. It's a potato. It's a potato I got from a neighboring town. But after that, it's pretty much just fan service. It was actually pretty funny though at one point. But Hiro Mashima actually tweeted that he overdid it a little bit in this chapter. Now this is one of those "oops, I overdid it" types of chapters. But to be honest, it's not really that big of a deal. It's only one panel in particular that's actually legitimately overdone. I mean, if you're a girl, then it's probably pretty annoying. If you're a guy, then you shouldn't really have a problem with it. If you do, that's kind of suspect. But I mean, don't get me wrong. Too much of anything is a bad thing. But when compared to other manga in Japan, and comparing them with like Fairy Tail's fan service, Fairy Tail's actually in the middle. I mean, it's no Madaka box or anything. Madaka box isn't ecchi, but it doesn't really have too much fan service. But there are many manga that are higher than Fairy Tail. Um, I mean, look at Tomb of Rue and Tomb of Rue Darkness. Look at High School of the Dead, High School DxD, Hagure Yusha no Aesthetica. Pretty much any series from the magazine Monthly Dragon Age. A lot of anime, light novels. There are a lot of series who are much worse than Fairy Tail when it comes to ecchi. So it's really not that big of a deal. I mean, especially when it comes to exaggerated ecchi, like Dragon's Riding. I love this series. I think it's incredibly hilarious that the main character has this condition where he'll die if he gets too aroused. And he always has to keep himself under control in a school where there's tons of fan service everywhere. Exaggerated fan service, too. So I find it funny, but the fan service, like I said, is incredibly exaggerated. Um, but that's enough about that. The point is, the fan service in Fairy Tail is not as bad as most people make it out to be, especially if you've actually read other manga and seen other anime. But pretty much it's just a bath scene. They're trying to relax after the mission, and then but it turns out that Gray and Natsu are in the baths too. So that was pretty funny. It turns out they were actually the first ones in there, and and then Ward ends up coming in at one point, and then Lucy's telling them to get out because it's embarrassing, and then Gray, then Natsu Gray like, come on, Lucy, we've seen your naked body so many times already. It's not that big of a deal anymore. We've gotten used to it. It's not a novelty anymore. So that was really funny. Um, and then Urza, this was expected. Urza didn't really care that much. She's all for skinship, especially when it's with Gray and Natsu, just because when they were kids, they would do it all the time. Um, After that, there was this nice talk that Ward had. It was just a nice moment. Nothing too good, nothing too bad. Just a nice moment. Talking about Fairy Tail and all this stuff. So this is where that one overdone scene came from, though. At first, Urza was washing Natsu's back, then they switched. Natsu started washing Urza's back. Then there was a scene where like the panel was looking up at Urza. That was like the one panel that was pretty overdone. But other than that, fan service was fine. Kind of pretty funny actually. Then Ward ends up mentioning that Tartarus might actually be in possession of the Book of Zareth. So, we don't know anything about Tartarus's numbers, their level of power, anything. We don't really know anything about them. We know about the nine ghost gates, or whatever they're called. But we've been introduced to two of them already. But other than that, we really don't know anything. Like, are there really only 9 members of Tartarus, or are there like a bunch more. Maybe those 9 Ghost Gate guys are just like one group of Tartarus. Like, I don't mean like how the members of the Barum Alliance have like different dark guilds underneath them that they control. I mean like how Fairy Tail has Shadow Gear or whatever Levy's team is called, but they also have the strongest team in Natsu, Lucy, Urza, Gray, and Wendy. Like they have different groups inside the main guild, is what I mean. So I don't know if those 9 Ghost Gate guys are just a different group inside Tartarus, or if they're the only ones in Tartarus. But I'm interested in finding that out. That was pretty much the main important part of the chapter, though. Finding out that Tartarus might actually be in possession of the Book of ZF. And then the chapter ends with a pretty funny scene. Natsu gets angry. Then he ends up like beating the water, but he actually ends up beating up Urza, and she gets really pissed. So that was pretty funny. Funny way to end the chapter. And at the end, Hiromashima always puts at the bottom of the chapter what the next chapter is called, and it's called Tartarus Arc Prologue. So it's confirmed that Tartarus is actually going to have their own arc coming up soon, like the Erasion Seis did and Grimoire Heart. That there was a chance that the Tartarus arc wasn't actually going to happen until like a couple arcs from now, and they were just going to be kind of relevant. They were going to be relevant, but not like an entire arc specifically about them. So I'm happy that we're actually getting involved with Tartarus. I know people during the Grand Magic Games were saying that Fairy Tail was going to end soon because the only thing they had left were the dragons, but I kept trying to say, no, there's Tartarus. we can't end it yet. And there's Lumen Histoire as well. There are a couple things that are keeping Fairy Tail from ending. But we're finally getting to one of them, Tartarus, and I'm excited for what's coming. So that's it. As for the rating, I actually thought the chapter was pretty good. I guess I'll give it, hey, why not? I'll give the chapter an 8 out of 10. We got information about Tartarus in the Book of ZF. There was fan service. It was pretty funny. There was good comedy in this chapter throughout. And there was a nice moment with Ward in the middle there. So yeah, I'll give this chapter an 8 out of 10. That's it for now. I've mentioned it before, but Hunter x Hunter review. Reaction to episode 1 of Unbreakable Machine Doll. Those are going to be the next videos I make. And the new episodes of Naruto Shippuden, Infinite Stratos, Kill La Kill, they came out as well. Plus I have to watch Ruby, RWBY. I'm not going to be reviewing it because it's only like 4 or 5 minutes every week. Sometimes if we're lucky 6. But so I have a lot to watch right now. I'm kind of behind. I might do a review of Tokyo Ravens as well, the first episode. So I'm gonna be pretty busy. So those Hunter x Hunter and Unbreakable Machine Doll are gonna be like the next things I come out with, though. So after that, probably Tokyo Ravens. So yeah, I'll look forward to that stuff. Rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you then.